you're just going to find that you are right more often than you're wrong. And if you've got a job where you do a yearly review, you definitely want to find a way to quantify that. You want to be able to, even if the team software process doesn't have a mechanism for gauging your improvement, you want to be able to say, over this last year, I only had a dozen bugs attributed to my work items. And the year prior to that, I had 17. It's an arbitrary metrics, but whatever you're able to show, or you can say, from this check-in to the next check-in, or from this commit to the next commit, I'm constantly reducing my code with no introduction of new bugs. These are very powerful statements to be able to make, to say, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm getting better. And so even if there isn't a team software process in place that does these things, it's definitely worth it for you as a programmer to keep it in your own personal software process. No one's going to volunteer to give you a raise or more responsibility. You have to earn it and take it for yourself. Employers want to pay you as little as possible. Kind of a rant on career building, but I think if you're just getting into the programming game and you're trying to figure out how to make these things work for you in a professional capacity, it's good to know. It's good to know that there's going to be a strong correlation between how well you program, your understanding of your own ability, and being able to communicate that. Okay, so let me build this. I still have Zombie that needs to implement this. Let's go over there, because Zombie also, it's a monster, and the monster is derived from base monster, which further derives from base actor. So even though this base monster isn't forcing me to implement, because it's an abstract class, so it's deferring that requirement until Zombie, and then it's saying, hey, this is pretty much into the line, and you still haven't implemented get stamina cost by action type. Could you go ahead and do that? But so what happens when I come in here and say, you know what, monsters don't really have stamina, and so you should never be calling them for any monster. So I'm just going to stick in here Escatite says, I'm just getting started in programming, so I really appreciate those kinds of rants. Well, yeah, it's what I'm going to try to do, Escatite, actually, is I want to make the channel below a little more robust. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna sidetrack just for a second to show you guys something. And then Jegvet Alt says, hi, Eryugu, and chat from Norway. Get out of town, Jag. Norway, I've always wanted to go. I worked with quite a few Norwegians, and you all are just wonderful people. I can't say enough about it. Really, I don't think I've met a Norwegian I didn't like. I'm just gonna say it. You guys are just. It's unfair how typically smart and good-looking you are. It's there. I've said it. It's out there. We're all thinking it. It's not fair. So deal with it. Okay. So real fast, and I want to put these things in the channel, but there's a book I can't quite remember right now that kind of goes over these same kind of rants as far as, you know, charting your career as a programmer. But This one's really cool. And if you haven't seen it, I'm going to rant for just a few seconds, so bear with me. So Microsoft has this develop program. So when I was at Build 2015 in San Francisco, you would go around to different vendors and you get points for hearing them talk about their product. You get points for doing code challenges and learning, and then you could redeem those points for prizes. It was very arcade-esque, very carnival-esque, but it was also seemed very generous, and I love that idea. So I was really happy to find out that Microsoft had extended that just to the public. So it's really cool. So you come here, you sign up, and then you can do challenges. And the challenges are these guided exercises for how to use Azure, how to work with Cortana, just following along with the tracks they had at Build. It's just hands-on lab with Azure. And so you see this and you're like, this actually, it's not only is just a great tool, but if you need the incentive, so you can say this one, right? Hands-on lab, create a Windows 8.1 app that uses Azure mobile services, right? You then get 750 experience, and you also get 750 points. So this is good for two reasons, right? So for the experience, it helps you just getting started. You can say, this is what I've done. This is what I know how to do. And you can talk from that experience, and you're getting badges and you're getting ranked. It's a really cool thing as a new person, just have another feather in your cap. The second thing is these points can be redeemed. And so let's say this one gives you 750 and this one gives you 1,000. So what does that mean? Let's go over here to rewards. So 2,000 points gets you a $100 Ticketmaster gift card. What? like let that sink in for a second, right? 10,000 points gets you a drone. 7,000. Look, I want to not lose my mind here for a second, but you just saw that one challenge could get you 750 points. So doing 10 of those challenges gets you an Oculus dev kit. If you're watching right now and you're just seeing it for the first time, just get in while the getting's good, because I can almost guarantee you, once this gains popularity, it's going to become much harder to get points than it is right now. But you could run out over the weekend. I feel like I'm letting the cat out of the bag here. You could run out over the weekend, do 10 of these challenges, and get an Oculus. I don't even know what to say. It's so crazy. $50 gift card, $50 Starbucks, right? $1,400 gets $225 for a voucher for Lion Bridge. I don't even know what that is. Woo. So I'm going to linger here for a second because it's that crazy. You can get it if you go through and do your certification. You can get 1,000 points. I feel like I'm on an infomercial right now. I'm like, you get 1,000 points. You get 1,000 points. Like an Oprah thing. And so these challenges are open for just a few days. And the benefit is not only do you get the experience, but you also get the personal experience. But you also get to be able to say, hey, here's my name and here's my badge to show off to whatever employer you want, or on your personal website, or whatever have you. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I'm hoping to collect a few of these things, right, and kind of keep the channel up to date with that kind of information. So, all right. That was probably the most exciting part about this entire stream. But get over there, sign up, and let's just go back again, right? Because come on. I'm just going to click on the Oculus. Do you want an Oculus? I want an Oculus. $7,000 points. Headset. 2 pairs of vision lenses. Blah, blah, blah. DVI adapter. That's it. Man, I'm doing that. Or a drone. So I think actually Ashcard says, "Yeah, see you later. Thanks for the stream." Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Like, get in there and knock them out. I think that's really cool in terms of Microsoft as a company and deciding where do you put your money, right? Do you put your money into this really expensive like marketing campaign with commercials and radio ads, whatever have you? They are doing that, or do you say we can get as much exposure and still work on a relationship on a personal level with the developer by doing these contests? So spread the word, get involved. I say that just because I think that if it becomes really popular, we might see more stuff like that. And I would love to see more stuff like that. Yeah. I should have stopped stream now and start working on my Oculus. Okay, so here we are. So back to the base monster. I've got this problem. Not the context switch too quickly on you. I know that can be tough. But I need to get rid of the need to have a get stamina. So what happens when I do a private override? You see it doesn't give me access to anything. What if I do a public override? So now suddenly I've got this ability to override things. So just say that I override, and then what are my options? Okay, I can get stamina. And no monster should ever call this, right? So we're going to keep it as a not implemented exception, and we can give it a message if we want. No monster should ever call this, right? So just to kind of harp on this, right? And so it tells me that I can't have a private, because that'd be nice, right? Just don't even expose it, just hide it completely. So the problem here is that the method cannot change the access rights. And it makes sense if you want to dive into it, but for right now, just remember to yourself that in terms of inheritance, in terms of the mic tried to run away from my face. Alright, so in terms of inheritance, in terms of OOP, you're always going to run into this issue of access modifiers as you're inheriting. So just know there's another place you're going to run into it. I won't get too much in the nitty-gritty, but that's what you can't do it for those underlying reasons. Okay, so if I hit Control B again, everything succeeds. I've satisfied it. This all looks nicer. Eventually, I'd love for this. Anytime you see a literal, right, like an actual number, an actual string, I always feel it's like a brittle point in the code, and so I always like it when things look more, I don't even know what to call it, cleaner, I guess, but just to know that, hey, these things are being knitted together. I'm not scripting or doing anything too wonky. So let's go ahead and play the game real fast. So here I am in my test chamber with my test description, and I got my targets. I've got Beth, I've got Gary, and I got 20 stamina. So what happens when I fight Carl? Gary attacks for 8 damage. Fight Carl, fight Carl, fight Carl, fight Carl, fight Carl, fight Carl. Alright, so I'm fighting, I'm taking away 2 stamina. So Carpenter, but if I can negotiate, it takes 3 stamina. So let's try to negotiate. I don't know why after beating the zombie Carl on the head 10 times, you'd suddenly want to negotiate. But as we know, Gary is an odd duck. Oh no. Alright. So, we've got a not implement exception on the negotiate because no one knows how to do it yet. That's fair. That's very fair. So let's go ahead and run it here real fast. And let's just do a response equals sender